Hey, it's Soul, bringing you the World of Warcraft, and it's finally time. We're going to fight Gul'dan as a Paladin tank in the Nighthold raid. This is a 3-phase encounter with a lot of abilities, a lot of stuff for tanks to do, and if we don't do it right, well, everyone's going to die. So let's get to it. Today's loadout has us using Blessed Hammer, First Avenger, Blinding Light, Blessing of Spell Warding, Hand of the Protector, Judgment of Light, and Righteous Protector, or Seraphim depending on how you want to approach this fight. The first phase has us handling both Gul'dan and a bunch of different adds. The very first ad that comes out is a Fel Lord, and whoever picks this up, whether it's you or the other tank, the opposite tank is going to pick up Gul'dan in phase 2, and I'll tell you why later. Fel Lord does a thing called Shatter Essence that's going to do pretty much lethal damage unless you either use a heavy cooldown or you hit your extra action button. In this case, the extra action button activates a thing called Resonant Barrier, which will basically make you immune to damage for a couple of seconds. Unlike your Divine Shield or Blessing of Protection, that's not going to do anything to your aggro. Go ahead and use this to handle the ability. The second ad that comes up is the Inquisitor. The Inquisitor doesn't move, which is a little frustrating, so the raid is going to end up clumping on him. He's also going to be your primary target once he pops up, so whoever's tanking Fel Lord, just drag him over and just go to town. The third ad is a Trapper, and he doesn't do much aside from an ability called Soul Vortex. He's going to target the current tank and is going to throw a cage down. Before the cage goes out, whoever's tanking him will need to run this thing out. Otherwise, if you're standing too close to the cage, you take a lot of extra damage. So just run that out and then run back into the clump. As for Gul'dan himself, he'll fire off a lot of green stuff. Liquid Hellfire is an ability that you're going to see during both the first and second phases. Just get out of the way of green stuff. Fel Efflux is the big beam that Gul'dan fires out. In most cases, he's going to strike the melee, so just try to make sure that you're moving the bosses out of the way. Once all 3 ads are down, there's a short transition before phase 2 begins. Have your raid move up close, but have your tanks get ready to pick up the boss as soon as he's vulnerable. The tank that picks him up should not be the one that picked up Fel Lord first. That's because shortly into phase 2, you're going to end up hitting your extra action button again. During phase 2, there's basically a rule to follow where you don't want Gul'dan to leave that blue circle thing, and neither do you. Throughout phase 2, you're going to get knocked back in such a way that being too far outside of that blue circle will risk death by knockback. Since I'm the one that picks up the boss first during phase 2, I'm going to talk from my perspective. I have X marked over there to know where I'm going to stand, but more importantly for the melee to not be during this phase. Going forward during this encounter, Gul'dan does an ability called Fel Scythe. This is a really hard-hitting ability that's based on how much energy he has. There are 2 conditions that'll make Gul'dan activate this ability. One, if there's a character standing close enough to the current tank. The other is if Gul'dan reaches 100 energy. Again, when neither of these occur, Gul'dan will cast Fel Scythe and do maybe a little bit or a whole heck of a lot of damage. So this can be handled one of 2 ways. One is to eat Fel Scythe whenever it's at 100 energy and just use a heavy cooldown to handle it. The other is to make the tanks briefly overlap each other in order to activate the ability and then get off. But you don't want to just have the tank stack either. Every time Fel Scythe is cast, Gul'dan's attack speed goes up, and you'll very quickly get yourself killed if you just stay stacked like that. Anyway, I pick up the boss, but shortly after I get afflicted with an ability called Bonds of Fel. This ability targets multiple players, but it'll always target the current tank. Tanks will need to move out of the circle, but when that happens, a big explosion happens. But the damage is shared, so you can handle this one of 2 ways. Since this ability goes off pretty early, you can just kind of break this in the melee and have everyone share the damage, but we opted otherwise and instead just use our extra action button and pop this safely away from everyone else. Meanwhile, the other tank picks up the boss. Shortly after that, the boss casts Hand of Gul'dan. This ability targets a random player who is not the tank, and it spawns a Dreadlord in heroic mode. This ad just has one ability called Carrion Wave. It's interruptible, and it basically has to be interrupted every time it's cast. Otherwise, a bunch of people are going to be put to sleep, and basically you're probably going to wipe. So in this case, I get aggro on the Dreadlord, run over to the other tank, activate Fel Scythe, and reposition myself where I can hop back into Fel Scythe whenever I need to, but I focus most of my damage on the Dreadlord, and at the same time try to interrupt him whenever I can. This is the time where I typically want to have my Avenging Wrath available to try to get this thing down. Ideally, the Dreadlord should die before the boss casts Empowered Fel Bonds. This is going to knock back the current tank and then apply Fel Bonds as normal. The problem though is we want to prevent Gul'dan from moving as much as possible. This is why the positioning is important, because if Empowered Fel Bonds goes off and we're in a bad spot, we might get knocked off the platform and that's the end of the fight. What we try to do is to activate Fel Scythe just before the cast of Empowered Bonds goes off. As the cast is going, I taunt the boss, move on top of the other tank, and from there Gul'dan shouldn't move. And the Dreadlord should be dead too. Also throughout this fight are Eyes of Gul'dan. This is a very high priority target for your DPS, so whenever you can, throw your Judgment or your Avenger Shield to try to maximize the damage on it. Anyway, once you pick up the boss and the other tank is handling their fail bonds, they're going to start running back, and they're likely going to have to set off Fell Scythe for you. Tank communication regarding Fell Scythe is going to be extremely important, oftentimes because the other tank is going to help support the team through other means, including killing Dreadlords or killing eyes, and they might not be able to track Gul'dan's energy unless they have him as a focus. Once it's our turn to get knocked back for empowered Fel bonds, again, we'll have to handle this ourselves, and there's kind of an order that we'll want to follow. Your extra action button is still going to be on cooldown, so in this case I pop Divine Shield. The next time it happens after that, your extra action button should just be coming off the cooldown, so if you want to wait a few seconds in order to set it off, do it. For the one after that, Blessing of Spell Warden will be the ability to use. And if you need another one after that, you probably have DPS problems at this point, but in this case you can use Ardent Defender. Just make sure you have your Hand of the Protector to get yourself back up. I guess this is a late reminder, but just make sure you use your Shield of the Righteous every time Fell Scythe is about to go off. If you're following my sequence, you should expect you yourself to handle 2 Dreadlords. Based on my timing at least, I was able to pop my Avenging Wrath during the Dreadlord phase, as well as an Empowered Eye. During phase 2, there are other small things you can do to help support the team. If you're not tanking the boss at the time and Fell Scythe is looking pretty good, you can possibly help with Breaking Chains, or Bonds of Fel, whatever is easier to say. If you can spare the cooldown, you could even cast Blessing of Spell Warding on another player to help them out. This sequence will continue until 40%, when Gul'dan will do another short transition and then go into the last phase. Just make sure Gul'dan is off of the middle of the platform and towards any edge. You'll know why later. There are a few different ways we can handle the fight at this point. We tried a few different methods, but since we have a Druid tank, this is what we went with. In this case, we had the Druid tank eat maximum energy Fell Scythe. It hits hard, but hey, with his cooldowns he can handle it. Meanwhile, my primary job was now to soak souls in the Well of Souls. Basically, standing in the blue area while souls are present will cause a stacking debuff up to 9, where you're just going to take a lot of damage over time. This is something that eventually most of the raid is going to be helping with soaking souls, because again, you can only soak up to 9, and there are a lot of souls in that well. From there, my role becomes kind of a backup and support. Hand of the Protector is now going to be used to help support the team, as well as whatever the heck cooldowns I still have available. This will include Blessing of Spell Warding, which should be pretty much off cooldown by this point, as well as Blessing of Sacrifice. Every now and then you'll be afflicted by an ability called Flames of Sargeras. You're basically going to poop fire. This fire can very quickly fill up the platform and causes huge problems for your DPS and healers. As for you, since you're only taking a little bit of dot damage on top of this fire damage, you can damn near just stand there until you poop out all the fire. It takes a few seconds, but you're going to poop out 4 big circles of fire. Pop a cooldown or prepare a heal, or at most, just try to limit your movement so you're not spreading fire all over the place. The boss himself will cast Storm of the Destroyer. This is a super big AoE that'll basically cover most of the platform. When the boss casts Storm of the Destroyer a second time, shortly after he's going to also spawn an eye. For us, this is the time that we pop Bloodlust. We rush back over to the eye, kill that, and go back to the boss. From there, it's all about controlling the fire, having the rest of the team soak up souls, and just trying to stay alive. I admit that this was kind of a clutch kill, but this was the method that worked for us. For your viewing pleasure, I included the kill shot in this video. That's pretty much it for this encounter, and for those who are still struggling, hopefully this video will help a little bit. Thanks for watching the series, and we'll see you at the Tomb of Sargeras. Have a good one, and stay breezy.
Alrighty.
Is there anyone that hasn't used Avantis Rune?
Nope. So I apologize to Diacrux.
4, 3,
Oh, I didn't even realize
2,
that.
1.
Good thing I still have some.
Bitch.
I never heard anyone pass them out.
Well, shouldn't need to. They last a week. I was just wondering if someone had forgotten like a bastard.
Oh right, the buff is still there, huh?
Fuck them up.
Make sure you guys are getting out of those purple swirls.
I better get it today, Dustin, or so help me.
It's bugged, you'll never be able to kill it.
Just kill it harder.
I'm going the super long way around. Stupid ass. Oh, 47 seconds. Huh.
Four, three, two, one.
Spread out.
Next win the game.
Yep.
Eyes
Oh,
coming out,
just in
spread out.
time. Cool.
Liquid hellfire.
Four, three, two,
Bonds.
one.
I'll get that interrupt.
Fuck you, you're not.
Stacks.
Spread.
Stacks.
Four, three, two, one.
Bonds coming out.
Ooh, that looks close. Sheesh.
Yeah, I'm really glad that wasn't on me.
Empowered Hellfire, get up.
Next, please.
Spread.
Four, three, two, one.
Bonds coming out.
Guys. Oh, lucky.
Yeah.
Wait till after the hellfire to break.
Stacks when you can.
Nice. Break them. And fuck them up. Free damage.
I still back here, guys.
Oh, and that too, yeah. You can pick if you want to. Yeah, it's okay.
Ooh.
You're good, Soul. I got you.
Oh, like damn.
Doing good
Bonds
handles,
and 5
Lando.
and eyes.
Four,
There's that bucket.
three,
See
is
ya,
it?
Owen.
Bond and eyes. Don't
Power
come back
dive
to
too.
us yet. Wait till eyes are dead. Don't hit us with AoE.
Nice, good job.
Stacks whenever you grab. Don't worry
Yep.
about it. Adventure.
Need help with the next interrupt?
Liquid hellfire, get out.
Hellfire, get out. Get out, guys.
Then bonds, so running.
three, two, one.
One of you hunters was lucky.
Quick.
Alright, so I'm gonna
Do it.
Full.
Mondo.
Yep.
Or, yeah, Mondo.
Oh shit. Hurry, 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 hurry.
Good, good, go, 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 go.
Spread, spread, spread. Oh shit.
I wish I
Yeah,
could
for
turn
health
around and judge. But it's too scary.
Nice. Alright, base change.
Game time. Almost. Stay away from the bear, he's marked blue, and bear, and square.
And he's blue.
Yeah.
Square bear.
By the way, square's
I
going
like
to.
blue
By the way, square's going to change too. Taunt, please. Because that hurt.
Yeah, that did hurt.
I'm gonna soak all of these
Red,
souls.
start making your way to the wall if you're not soaking.
Oh, I don't see souls. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, not yet.
Say when they are there.
Alright, I'm switching to Shad. So you
Alright,
get-
who's soaking?
Now.
Me.
I'm gonna soak.
No, get out. I'm gonna
Why?
soak.
It's all you? Alright.
Until I'm at 9.
I took
On that eye.
Aye. Oh man, fire. Rough. I'm gonna try to make my way across.
I don't know how to do fire.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, pop and embrace.
Beware.
Mine's down still.
We're good. We're good.
Flames incoming, get ready. Alright, get away from
Not
me.
me.
Killing old god.
Beware.
Run away.
Go for bucket, I got fire on you.
Yeah, so did I, but I gotta move.
Just stay focused, guys.
Getting souls.
Away from the bear.
Oh god.
Oh god, sorry, Mary.
High spread. Woo! Pop and embrace myself. How are we on soaking?
I'm almost at
Uh,
9.
we need help.
I'm at 9 now. Alright, it's up to you guys
Yeah,
now.
it seems like it's capped at 9, because I'm at 9 too.
Alright, up to you guys. Good luck.
Coming in.
I have
Black
3
Harvest in
hours.
5?
I got
Harvest
them all,
in
we can get
5.
out.
Okay,
It's
they're
not letting
gone.
me take anymore.
They're gone.
They're gone.
Beware.
Oh fuck, pop something. Defensive. Get ready for eye.
A storm in 5? Oh, we're like
Yes,
closed
it's
off.
first.
Sweet Jesus.
Beware.
Yeah, man.
He's gonna clean it up though.
Yeah, with a attack that kills him. Alright, we're less in here, right?
Yep, run in. Run
Alright.
back in, kill the eye.
Kill it.
I'm gonna stay next to Shad to help.
Everyone stay spread for this eye.
Let me know if you need me to go in and soak.
Yes. We
Kill the
need
boss.
Anyone, because me and Soul are
Okay.
capped.
I'm in right now. I got
I'm
flames.
gonna-
I got it.
I'm
Get
gonna,
ready
I'm
for
gonna,
flames.
I'm gonna need a
Everybody
sec.
get outside.
I'm gonna need a sec in 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1.
Eye.
Now.
Don't do that.
Oh!
Can we get Jet up?
Yeah, try to get him up.
Kill
Finish
the
off
eyes
eye.
too. Kill the eyes.
We're gonna need
Alright.
Gul'dan.
I'm coming in soul. I got it.
Alright, we need those. We need those.
Run away?
The souls. I don't think we got enough.
Yeah, whoever hasn't soak souls, jump into the well.
We can't. We can't because we got souls. We got storm.
I can soak some more. Oh shit, we didn't do
Hold
it.
on,
People
hold on.
died.
He's at 1%, dude. 35 million.
Oh my god.
Oh, get it, guys.
Oh, come on, boys.
Get it.
Why am I
We got a
so
battle
slow?
royale. Go.
We don't.
Get it, boys.
Got it. Come on.
Come on, Soul, you tanked it this long before.
Come on, Mary, heal your ass off. By the powers of the shaman.
Fucking yeah, baby. Get it.
0.2, 0.1.
Yeah.
Oh.
We got a legend.
Congrats, bro.
Fast fucking holy legendary.
Yeah. Good work.
All right.
We did it.
See you guys on this.
Yeah. We did it. I quit.